And now about an hour north of Alcatraz, where ICE raids are happening right now in the state's capital. Bill Malugin joining us live. He's got exclusive details. Hi, Bill.
Yes, Sandra, good afternoon to you. This is actually Border Patrol, and it was the first time we've seen them do something like this. We joined one of their strike teams as they came here to the capital of the sanctuary state of California and carried out immigration enforcement. We'll get right into the video, show you what we saw. Take a look. As soon as we pulled up to a local Home Depot out here, suspected illegal immigrants started taking off running in all different directions as soon as they saw federal agents. That led to several different foot pursuits as agents were chasing them down and arresting them. We ultimately saw about 10 different people being arrested by those federal agents.
ICE stormed a quiet Sacramento Home Depot near a trailer park in a fast, high-impact operation, leaving no time to react. Dozens of undocumented migrants were taken into custody in under 10 minutes. What was once a calm neighborhood turned into a battlefield of flashing lights, shouting agents, and broken families. The raid left a lasting scar. Many are asking, how was it executed so efficiently? And what message does this send to other migrant communities now that immigration enforcement is intensifying under Trump's mandate, forcement?
There is no sanctuary city. Sacramento is not a sanctuary city. The state of California is not a sanctuary state. There is no sanctuary anywhere.
So now there's a raid on this Home Depot in California's capital city of Sacramento. Look at the video there through the windshield. Driving that point home from the comment you heard about a sanctuary city. Fox was there exclusively as it all went down, and Bill Malugin joins us now live in Sacramento. What you see, Bill, what you hear? Hello to you.
Hey, Bill, good morning to you as well. With illegal crossings at the southern border at the lowest levels in recorded history, that has freed up Border Patrol resources to come and help ICE with interior immigration enforcement. And we joined a Border Patrol California strike team as they came right here to Sacramento and carried out an operation. We'll get right into that video. Take a look at this. As soon as we pulled up to a local Home Depot out here, suspected illegal immigrants started taking off running in all directions pretty much as soon as they saw those federal agents pull up. That immediately led to several foot pursuits with agents chasing these men down. Border Patrol tells us they ended up arresting 11 illegal aliens at this one Home Depot parking lot. Several of them had criminal histories and prior deportations. More on that in a moment, but we want to show you this. Take a look at this. They also chased down and arrested this U.S. citizen, the guy in the black hat, after agents say he slashed the tire on one of their vehicles. You'll see them pursue him.
The trailer park was home to families chasing the American dream. Many undocumented, but working and raising children in peace. That calm was shattered in moments. ICE moved in with overwhelming force, snatching residents from their homes. Kids screamed, parents were dragged away. The plan was precise: shock, surround, and seize. Within minutes, the park was silent again, except for the sobbing of those left behind. Was this just another raid, or a turning point in America's return to strict immigration enforcement?
Hey! Leave him alone! What the Get the out of the way! Why are you...
Multiple federal immigration raids taking place in Sacramento County today. Masked Border Patrol agents descending upon a Home Depot on Florin Road in South Sac this morning. According to a social media video posted by U.S. Border Patrol Chief Patrol Agent Gregory Bovina, at least 8 people were arrested for being in the country illegally. He said in the video one was an aggravated felon wanted for charges related to fentanyl trafficking. We also know one man was arrested not for immigration issues, but for what the chief says was impeding and or assaulting a U.S. federal officer. That man is Jose Castillo from Sacramento. Thanks for joining us at 4. I'm Lisa Gonzalez.
And I'm Curtis Meng. Moments after his arrest, Castillo's wife spoke with KCRA, telling us he is a U.S. citizen. KCRA 3's Maricela de la Cruz has been out there since this morning. What does the area look like now?
Well, the area has pretty much already been cleared out just a few minutes ago. Protesters were along Florin Road in this sidewalk. They were protesting against these immigration raids, which have brought a lot of sadness and grief to South Sacramento. And as for Jose Castillo, we're still trying to piece together what happened ahead of his arrest.
What are you doing?
A South Sacramento woman
He's a U.S. citizen!
pleading with federal immigration agents to release her husband.
Witnesses described chaos. One woman, Maria, was jolted awake by shouting and boots outside. ICE agents were everywhere. Screaming children clung to parents. Some residents were pulled out at gunpoint with no time to grab a bag. It was confusion and terror, a peaceful community crushed in minutes. For many, it felt like war had come to their doorstep. And, in a way, it had.
An immigration raid at a Home Depot parking lot in South Sacramento, where multiple people were detained, including 31-year-old Jose Castillo, a Migrant Watch volunteer who is documenting the immigration activity. His wife Andrea arrived to this location attempting to let federal agents know that her husband is a U.S. citizen.
We never thought that this would be happening. We knew of the fears because of the president and everything that he's been doing, and we know that our people are being targeted. Like, we knew all of that, but we never thought it would be us because we're safe, right? This is America. If you're a U.S. citizen, you're protected by the Constitution. Your rights, you have rights, but clearly you don't.
ICE says the Home Depot parking lot and trailer park had multiple undocumented individuals, some with criminal records. But critics argue the scale and speed of the raid went far beyond what was necessary. Was this about law, or was it about sending a message? As Trump's administration ramps up enforcement, this looks less like a standard operation and more like a show of force designed to shake communities to their core.
Telling us that records checks came back on one of the guys already, showing that he is an aggravated felon with a prior conviction for fentanyl trafficking. Then take a look at this video. This was a guy who said he was a U.S. citizen fleeing from federal agents after they say he slashed the tires on one of their vehicles. You'll see him running away. He then gets taken to the ground and he tangles with agents while he's on the ground. It appeared he kind of lunged at one of them, and you'll see the aftermath of that. Take a look at this picture right here. Those federal agents ended up macing that man in his face, took him into custody and took him away. His wife was yelling at agents the whole time, saying he's a U.S. citizen. The agents said, too bad, he slashed one of our tires.
ICE has legal authority to carry out raids, but how far is too far? Many of those detained were denied legal counsel. Families were broken apart on the spot. Experts argue that the operation may have violated due process. One mother, Rosa, sobbed as she was taken away from her children. Her story isn't rare. This raid may have followed the law, but did it honor justice?
Video, one was an aggravated felon wanted for charges related to fentanyl trafficking. We also know one man was arrested not for immigration issues, but for what the chief says was impeding and or assaulting a U.S. federal officer. That man is Jose Castillo from Sacramento. Thanks for joining us at 4. I'm Lisa Gonzalez.
And I'm Curtis Meng. Moments after his arrest, Castillo's wife spoke with KCRA, telling us he is a U.S. citizen. KCRA 3's Maricela de la Cruz has been out there since this morning. What does the area look like now?
Well, the area has pretty much already been cleared out just a few minutes ago. Protesters were along Florin Road and this sidewalk. They were protesting against these immigration raids, which have brought a lot of sadness and grief to South Sacramento. And as for Jose Castillo, we're still trying to piece together what happened ahead of his arrest.
What are you doing?
A South Sacramento woman
He's a U.S. citizen!
pleading with federal immigration agents to release her husband during an immigration raid at a Home Depot parking lot in South Sacramento.
Reactions were deeply divided. Some neighbors were shocked into silence. Others rallied to protest and support the families torn apart. Local churches and immigrant groups quickly offered help. The raid didn't just cause fear, it united parts of the community in grief, anger, and a desire to push back. For many, this wasn't just immigration enforcement. It was personal.
Say roughly 90 members of the California National Guard and more than a dozen armored trucks were in place to protect ICE agents as they conducted a raid at an LA park today. MacArthur Park is a neighborhood with a high immigrant population. A group of people that briefly included LA Mayor Karen Bass watched as officers searched the mostly empty park. The officers cleared out after about an hour. It's unclear if any arrests were made. Mayor Karen Bass called it a political.
This wasn't a one-off raid. ICE is shifting tactics. Faster, bigger, more visible. Trailer parks, job sites, parking lots, nowhere is off limits. Under Trump, enforcement is back in full force. While ICE defends its actions as necessary for national security, critics call it excessive and cruel. The reality is this: large-scale deportation is no longer a rumor. It's here.
Busy night at Buena Forchetta Saturday night, a day after ICE detained several employees and demanded identification from all staff. Friday's frantic scene adding to the growing anxiety surrounding deportation, leading more and more people to seek legal resources.
Because of the ICE raids going around all over the U.S. and in El Cajon and San Diego, we're getting 50 more calls a week, more than what we normally get because of the ICE raids.
That's Habib Haspini, who's an immigration lawyer.
They're afraid to go to work. They're afraid to even go Home Depot, pick up supplies for their employer. They're afraid to be questioned about their status, especially those who are, don't have the required paperwork.
Mayor Todd Gloria issued a statement about the ICE investigation, saying, quote, "Federal actions like these are billed as a public safety measure, but it had the complete opposite effect. What we saw undermines trust and creates fear in our community." Mayor Paloma Aguirre also responded, saying, quote, "This ICE immigration raid in South Park wasn't public safety. It was an over-the-top, militarized show of force that doesn't belong in a residential neighborhood."
The backlash has been fierce. Rights groups say ICE crossed the line. People detained had lived here for years, working, raising families, staying out of trouble. Critics accuse ICE of using fear as a weapon, separating families with no regard. As protests grow, legal groups are demanding investigations. Whether or not ICE broke laws, it certainly broke trust.
10 News also reached out to ICE, who responded saying, quote, "U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement can confirm that ICE San Diego conducted 2 worksite enforcement operations at Buena Forchetta and Enoteca Buena Forchetta restaurants in San Diego, California. As this is an ongoing investigation, we have no further releasable information at this time." Haspini says there was a different way for ICE to get employment documentation.
You may want to, ask the employer to see, get a copy of their service form to see their employment eligibility, to see if they're verified, eligible to work. You can get a copy, and they should have a copy of their service forms to determine each one's status, as opposed to raiding the place like that in the middle of the time where people are having nice evening, having dinner, to put this military-style scene in front of everyone. That's very chaotic, let alone very intimidating.
Jane Kim, ABC.
The ripple effect is spreading. Immigrant communities everywhere are on edge. Parents pull their kids from school. Workers avoid public places. The fear is real, and it's growing. Some advocates say this raid shattered a fragile sense of safety. Now, they're calling for urgent reform to stop more families from being destroyed in the name of law and order. This raid sent a message. No one is safe, not even longtime residents. While some lawmakers push for more humane enforcement, others stand behind ICE's tough approach. The debate over immigration has reignited, and the outcome could shape policy for years to come. For now, one thing is clear. The gloves are off, and immigration enforcement under Trump is just getting started.